The best anime anime villain you've never seen? Well, I guess I will. Checking out this video. Gallenberger is an awesome YouTuber. He does like anime essays about like pretty much everything. It's like if you like anime, it's really a good time. Don't share the love, leave him a sub, leave him a like, for real. He is worthy, you know.
What if I
let's check it
told
out.
you there's a villain who's a cross between Light Yagami and Toji Fushiguro in a series that's like a mix between My Hero Academia and Death Note? Now what if I told you that villain has one of the best debuts in all of anime? You'd probably wonder, why haven't I heard about this character? And it's because in one of life's great tragedies, no one watched Talentless Nana, which is why it only received one season of anime, even though the manga is still ongoing. So who is this character I'm glazing so hard? Let me introduce them the way the series did. It takes place on an island where superpowered students train to fight off villains called the enemies of humanity. We follow Nanao, a seemingly powerless boy who is constantly bullied. We're also introduced to two new kids in class, Hiragi and Onodera. Hiragi can read minds while Onodera hides his talent. Hiragi defends Nanao when he gets bullied in front of her, and she pushes him to believe in himself, even volunteering him to become the class leader, but he refuses. However, the battle between the others goes too far and puts Hiragi in danger. He rushes to save her, revealing his talent, the ability to negate powers. Typical shonen, right? He and Hiragi go off, where he thanks her for believing in him. Then she pushes him off the edge of a cliff. Turns out, Nana Hiragi isn't talented, and she's here to murder everyone on the island, the real enemies of humanity. This reframes the entire story. Things like kindness and
Wow, this is actually such a fucking like plot twist, like
trust have been weaponized and set the standard going forward that we should be suspicious of everything, and that's perfectly in line with her character. But why is she trying to kill the talented? The government doesn't see them as human, so they went the Epstein route and used an island to hide their crimes. They gather talented up and off them one by one, hiding it under the guise of war against the enemies of humanity. Nana was chosen because as a child, her family was murdered by a talented. She joined the government, and she's been working towards getting her revenge ever since. When she said she was a mind reader, she was obviously lying, but she was able to fool others by using exceptional observational skills to deduce what others were thinking. She is remarkably clever, but she has to be. If she's not, she'll be killed. If you were thinking since she's powerless, she's probably not going against foes that are too OP, you'd be wrong. Nana targets people who can time travel, see the future, revive the dead, and more. If you haven't guessed it already, that's the Toji Fushiguro element of her character. She is up against people who have powers she couldn't even dream of, and yet she's successful in many of her endeavors. She understands she can't overpower these people, she must outsmart and manipulate them. Everyone has a weakness. That's where the Light Yagami part comes in. Here's a good example. A boy in class makes everyone believe he can stop time. She can't take him at his word, so she uses tests disguised as accidents to deduce that his ability is actually time travel. Then she adapts her plan to deal with him based on that knowledge. However, she's not perfect at this by any means. Why would she be? She's a teenage girl thrown on an island with superhumans. How would you fare in her situation? Even the smallest mistakes she makes come back to bite her, but thankfully, she also excels at improvising. It doesn't take long for her to become a suspect. I mean, how could she not? Kids started dying right after she showed up, but she's able to spin that to garner sympathy and throw people off. She manipulates others by being friendly and relatable, which gets her voted class leader despite the accusations. Cute privilege at its finest. But she's not just entertaining to watch.
This is interesting.
She's interesting herself. Yes, she's murdering her classmates like she's part of the CIA, but there's glimpses of a kind person underneath. When she sets up a trap for someone, she makes sure that person's cat is safe before doing so. She goes out of her way to help a classmate out, even when it wasn't beneficial to her. They make a point to show us her room is always clean, which is something we'll come back to. There's another moment when she is in a hurry, but she sees another cat trapped and saves it, even though it actively hurts her odds of success. Why does she choose to do these things? Because they don't threaten her worldview. A decision like this may literally put her in danger, but mentally, she will feel safe doing it because it doesn't conflict with her beliefs. That part comes later. There's a moment early in the story that tells us how she views herself. She notices a manga on someone's shelf and points out it's her favorite. It's about a girl who does terrible things for the sake of justice. That's how she rationalizes what she's doing. And to be fair, you can kinda see why, because these aren't all great people either. One dude tries blackmailing her into being his girlfriend. Another was a murderer herself who controlled the body of the dead boy she stalked. Others are straight up bullies. But then there's Michiru, and she's different. She's kind, and that's a problem for Nana because it's not something she can process. Michiru is a healer, and like all powers in this world, there are drawbacks. For her, every time she heals someone, it shortens her lifespan, so choosing to help means a lot. If these people are good, it's harder to justify her mission as justice as opposed to cold-blooded murder. It's why, despite not even realizing it, Nana puts Michiru on the back burner while going after others. This concept is only furthered when she targets a necromancer. It's a constant battle of wits. Nana has preyed on others' assumptions and confidence, and here the same is done to her. She doesn't like that, but in a way, I think she respects her foe's competence. This is where an interesting contrast is highlighted. Nana carries a lot of pride, but simultaneously, she's doubting herself more and more. Each kill seems to weigh on her more than the last. She even admits for the first time, if she was wrong in her assumptions about the necromancer, she doesn't know if she could have gone through with killing her. But she is still the villain. She stages the murder of 2 bullies to clear her name as suspicion builds back up. What's intriguing to me is that they primarily targeted Michiru, so in a way it may have also been Nana looking out for her. Yet, upon hearing about their deaths, Michiru mourns them. Nana can't understand that at all. How can you mourn people who hurt you? She can't forgive evil of any kind. It's why she hates the talented, but also herself. As a child, she always left her room a mess and her parents would have to clean it up. One night, she snuck out to grab a new manga from down the street. That's the night her parents were murdered. The culprit was said to have come in through her window. It's why she makes sure her room is spotless and windows are always locked now, because she feels like her carelessness got her parents killed and refuses to let something like that happen again. When we see this, it becomes obvious how much pain she's been holding on to and that she yearns for human connection. It's why she tells Michiru about her past, even though it's only going to make going after her later more difficult. There are competing interests between her head and her heart. Her head tells her trusting talented people is off the table. Michiru being so kind isn't helpful, it's suspicious. There must be a darker side looming underneath. Nana goes through her diary, but everything in there is kind too. You'd think she'd be relieved, but she's pained by it. As her doubts continued building up, she needed Michiru to be flawed to ease her conscience. If she's not actually evil, that means the identity Nana's forged is all built on a lie. And that's when this person she's supposed to hate, that she's literally supposed to kill, falls unconscious. What should she do? Let her die? She can say she doesn't care, but actions mean more than words, and she spent that entire day by Michiru's side, tending to her. Nana feels relieved when her classmate wakes up, then asks herself, wait, why do I feel relieved? It's a crack in her worldview. She's gone from questioning the enemy to questioning herself. Then something really sets her off. Michiru notices Nana has a scratch and tries to heal her. Nana snaps. It's a scratch, it's nothing, and yet this girl was going to shorten her lifespan to heal it. Why would she do that? She's never experienced anything like this before. She literally asks, why are you such a good person? Michiru tells her the story of a friend she lost to a terminal illness, and you can tell that Nana is conflicted because it's only confirming her fears. Not all talented are evil. Michiru isn't, but then it goes further. She wants to give Nana peace of mind about her parents' deaths. She points out something Hiragi had missed, giving her hope that it wasn't her fault her parents died. Nana is so blown away she can't even pretend anymore. She admits, Michiru is her first friend. She now understands that humans and talented alike can be kind. It's turned her whole world upside down. The guilt of her actions weighs on her as she questions whether her cause really is just. But before she can fully sort through her feelings, she learns Michiru has gone off alone at night. That wouldn't normally be an issue, except there happens to be a murderer on the loose, someone other than Nana. Out of concern for her friend, she decides to go find her. On the way, she gets a call from the man who trained her, and he reminds her what she's fighting for. She's on the island to accomplish a mission of justice. against the types of people who killed her family. There's a whirlwind of emotions going through her head, but she realizes he's right. She needs to stick to the mission. That's when she finds Michiru, who has encountered the murderer. Here, Nana chooses to follow her heart. She doesn't think, she just acts, getting stabbed multiple times in the process. But Michiru is safe, so it was worth it. This proves at her core, Hiragi is good. You see this go even further when she berates Michiru, saying she hates her. She doesn't mean it, she just wants her friend to run while she still can. If she stays to help, it's only going to get her killed. It doesn't matter what Michiru thinks of her as long as she's safe. Finally, Nana's using her lies for good, and her reward is lying in a pool of her own blood. She's going to die. She abandoned her mission, acted without a plan, and got herself butchered, and she doesn't regret it. Then Michiru returns. Hiragi can feel her body being healed and is helpless to stop it. She knows what this means. Her wounds are healed, but it came at the cost of her first friend's life. Michiru was everything talented people weren't supposed to be, and Hiragi wasn't ready for that point to be made so concretely. Everything she's been doing this whole time was wrong. She's the villain of this story. The one person who proved her worldview wrong had to die for Nana to fully realize it. So she breaks down, revealing all the raw emotions she's been holding on to the whole time. All the pain she'd felt that was now being amplified by losing someone she cared about. And that's when the anime ends. I've said many times on this channel that I'm anime only. After that ending and years waiting for a sequel likely to never come, I had to tweak that a bit. Talentless Nana is the only manga I have ever read ahead of the anime. If that doesn't tell you it means something to me, I don't know what does. It's a shame no one watched this series because both she and it are excellent. Something Nana says that sticks out is that the talented rely on shortcuts. And to me, this reads like envy. Early on, envy that what comes so hard to her comes so easy to them because of their gifts. But later on, that evolves into a different kind of envy, because the things she does have, like intelligence, the skills to manipulate, and preparation, none of those things saved her friend. Powers might have. Powers also come with purpose and certainty. She now has neither. The complex emotions she deals with, her feelings of inadequacy, and her competing desires, makes Nana Hiragi so compelling as a villain. And yes, she is a villain because that's what she was for the entirety of the anime. But if we get season 2, that could change. Now subscribe, and maybe we'll get to see it.
Thank you so much, Gallenberger. What a fucking cool, talentless Nana. This is awesome. This is awesome. Thank you. Don't forget to leave a like and to leave a sub.